Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of From Life to Death with Jeff Heveron. I'm glad you're here today, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, I would like to talk about learning, and before that, I would like to ask you to comment down below and let me know what type of content you'd like to see in this channel. You know, this is still a brand new channel. This is my third, fourth video now, and I want you guys to help me out to know what you're interested in. There are a million YouTube channels out there, probably more than a million YouTube channels out there. So I don't want to do anything that's just overplayed or you've already got great resources for. I want to do something that's valuable for you. So if you know me, and I'm assuming a lot of people that are watching this, especially at the beginning, do know me pretty well, let me know. You know, what things do you want me to talk about? Do you want me to talk about, my recovery, sobriety? Do you want me to talk about mental health issues? Do you want me to talk about photography? Do you want me to talk about, video production, making music, doing marketing? Just comment down below. I don't care if it's one word or a book. Write whatever you want. And while you're at it, while you're down there, please subscribe. That would really help me out a lot, and I would appreciate it. Anyway, let's get on to learning. Learning was one of those things that I absolutely hated when I first, when I was in grammar school and even middle school and high school. It just seems so annoying to me. I didn't understand why I had to learn science and math and social studies and, all these different subjects. It just did not make sense to me. I wasn't interested in reading books because I had to read books for school. So if you were like me at all, then you understand where I'm coming from. This was not a fun thing. Well, fast forward till today, and I probably spend 1,800 hours a year learning new subjects, learning about things that I may not use, but I want that knowledge. So what's the difference from back then until now? The difference is I have motivation today. Today, I've got a reason and a purpose to learn, whereas back then, I was never taught the purpose. I never understood. Sure, they told me that I needed to learn so I could get a good job when I grew up. Well, I didn't know I needed a job. It didn't make any sense to me. For most of us, we either had parents or caretakers, that were providing for us in some way. So we didn't have that experience of having to pay bills and do things like that. Today, I really enjoy that process of learning, which is the hardest part about everything. That process is the hardest part. When I get into a new subject and I'm in that first day and my head is spinning because there's all this information that it just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I love that part of it because I know there is going to be a point very soon that I'm going to understand that. So it's exciting to me. I'm passionate about that, It's like, oh man, think about this right now. Like I have no clue what any of this stuff means, but a month from now, 6 months from now, I'm going to be proficient in it and hopefully I'll be showing somebody else how to do it too. That's one of the main reasons I enjoy learning is to be able to share that knowledge or share what I get out of it. Perfect example, when I decided I wanted to get into video production, I'd been looking at cameras, I'd been looking at the equipment that I needed, I'd been looking at, all these different things. I'd been looking at some of the tools I would have to use for editing. And, it was a little bit overwhelming. But I ended up taking my regular camera out just to go shoot pictures with a couple buddies. And, I figured that would give me good enough practice to get a start. I was excited enough to get that start. I started taking courses online. I started, watching and collecting all these videos. I probably created 20 playlists on YouTube just for video production. And I didn't understand what any of that stuff was at first until I got a camera, until I started getting in there. Even when I got the camera, it was so frustrating and confusing, because video, while it's similar, it's still very different from photography. But prior to that, I had taken the time to learn photography. And I learned what all the settings were. I learned how lighting worked. I learned how shutter speeds worked. I learned how ISO worked. I learned all these different aspects of photography, angles, how to set up a shot, lighting. And a lot of that showed me, that I've got to just go through this process. Same thing when I got into music production. I knew nothing about music production, but I was really excited to get into it. Really excited. I really wanted to. And the first thing I started with, honestly, was a very simple program that allowed me to, put stuff together in a basic way. And I thought I was, arranging this stuff creatively and having fun with it. And I showed a couple of friends some songs I made, and everybody enjoyed them. So I decided to jump into that journey. Well, little did I know, I've got so many different aspects to learn. I've got to learn, some basic music theory at least. I've got to learn how to, at least play some basic, keyboard. I've got to pick a tool, to start making a lot of this music. A software tool, because I planned on doing everything by computer and software. So I had to learn all about this program, which is very complex. And then I had to learn how to, mix these songs together. I needed to learn how to blend the different instruments. I needed to learn about a DAW. What the hell is a DAW? So that was a whole nother program that I had to learn. And then I had to learn all these plugins. Each and every plugin has a learning curve to it for the most part. So there are all these different aspects, and it's overwhelming and it's time consuming, but the result is great. For me, it was great. I enjoyed that. So when I go through one of these processes to learn something new, I know what I'm going to get out of it at the end today. And so if you think about that, when you're going to learn something, say to yourself, I know this is going to be hard. I know this is going to be difficult, but think about what I'm going to get at the end. I'm so excited about what I'm going to get out of this. And then you'll actually start enjoying the learning process too, because you're going from zero to as much as you can learn. And it's an exciting thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.